He made a bet to win her heart, but what started as a game turned into a love he never expected. She walked away when she discovered the truth. Can he ever earn her trust again? Watch till the end to see how a broken bet became a story of real love, forgiveness, and hearts learning to trust. Before we dive into the incredible story, do not forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button so you never miss our powerful, life-changing content. I saw her for the first time, standing under the golden evening sky, wind brushing softly against her hair, like the world was careful with her. My friends laughed, said she was proud, said she never spoke to men. I smiled, confidence louder than reason. I placed a bet. If I made her mine, they would throw a grand celebration. Felt easy, too easy, but the first time I walked toward her, my heartbeat lost its rhythm. She looked at me, not impressed, not curious, just calm, like a mountain that had seen storms. Days passed. I tried again, this time softer. I asked for friendship. She hesitated, then nodded. That moment felt like victory, but slowly, victory changed into something else. Her laughter stayed with me. Her silence spoke to me. I began to wait for her messages, to search for her in every crowd. The bet faded, like dust in wind. Love grew, quietly, deeply. One evening, under dim lights, with trembling hands, I offered her a ring. Her eyes filled with something fragile, something real. She said yes. Days later, we sat across each other in a restaurant. Warm lights, soft music, her smile. Then everything shattered. My friends appeared, their voices loud, careless. You won the bet. The words hit like thunder. Her face changed, color draining, eyes breaking. She stood, chair scraping the floor. Each second stretched, like a lifetime. She walked away. The world turned cold. I called, again and again. Finally, she answered, her voice, no anger, only pain. I told her everything. Yes, it began as a bet, but somewhere between her silence and her smile, I lost myself. I found love, real, unplanned, undeniable. The wind outside howled, as if carrying my confession to her. And in that moment, standing alone, heart exposed, I realized, some mistakes do not ask for forgiveness. They demand truth, and patience, and a love strong enough to stand in the ruins and still choose to stay. I waited, because love, when it becomes real, never leaves quietly. I waited. Days turned heavy, like dust settling on an untouched road. Her absence felt louder than any noise I had ever known. The city moved on, lights glowing, people laughing, but inside me, everything stood still. Then one evening, rain began to fall, slow, cold, unforgiving. I saw her, standing across the street, soaked, yet unshaken. My breath caught, heart racing, hope rising with fear. I walked toward her, each step heavier than the last. She looked at me, not with anger, not with softness, but with something deeper, something tired. You broke something inside me. Her voice, quiet, yet sharp enough to cut through my soul. I stood there, no excuses left, only truth. I know. The rain traced her face, like it understood her pain. You turned me into a story, she said, a game you wanted to win. I shook my head, desperation spilling out. No, you became the only truth I wanted to keep. Silence stretched, thick, unbearable. Cars passed, water splashing, but we stayed frozen in that moment. I stepped closer, slowly, carefully. Pain is the price. I will carry it. Trust takes time. I will wait. Her eyes flickered, a storm fighting inside. You think waiting fixes everything. Her words trembled. I think love tries, even when it fails. The rain grew heavier, like the sky refused to stay quiet. She looked away, then back at me, and for a second, just a second, I saw the girl who once smiled at me, but it faded. You do not understand, she whispered. My past, my walls, my silence, they were never pride. They were survival. Her words settled deep, breaking something open inside me. I stepped closer again, close enough to feel her breath. Then let me learn, I said softly. Let me understand every broken piece. The world around us blurred, only her eyes holding me in place. She hesitated, her hand slightly lifting, then stopping midway. The space between us felt like a lifetime, and in that fragile moment, between distance and touch, between leaving and staying, she took a small step toward me, barely noticeable, yet powerful enough to change everything, and still, not enough to heal what I had broken. Her fingers brushed against mine, light, uncertain, like she was testing if I was real, or just another mistake waiting to happen. And I stood there, afraid to move, afraid to lose, holding on to that single moment, as if it could decide who we were about to become. Her fingers stayed against mine, not fully holding, not fully letting go, just there, between doubt and desire. The rain softened, as if the sky leaned closer to listen. I felt the tremble in her hand, small, but enough to shake everything inside me. I did not move, even a breath. Felt like it could break the moment. Her eyes searched mine, slowly, carefully, as if she tried to find the truth, hidden behind every mistake I had made. You hurt me, she said, barely louder than the rain. I know, you made me feel small. The words landed deep, heavier than anything before. I swallowed the guilt, let it stay, let it burn. I never wanted to make you feel that way. Silence again, but this time, it felt different, less sharp, more fragile. Her fingers tightened, just a little, and that small movement felt louder than any promise. Why did you not stop? She asked, voice breaking at the edges. When it was still a game, I closed my eyes for a second, searching for something honest enough, because I thought I was in control. My voice came out lower, raw, but then you smiled, and I lost that control. I lost the bet, I lost the game, and I found something I did not know how to protect. The rain slowed to a whisper. She looked down, watching our hands, still not fully together, still not apart. People do not change so easily. She murmured, maybe not, but hearts do, when they finally feel something real. Her breath caught. The world around us faded again. No cars, no noise, only two broken truths standing too close. She stepped closer, so close. I could feel the warmth through the cold rain. Her free hand lifted, slow, hesitant. It hovered near my chest, like she wanted to feel if my heart was telling the truth. I did not stop her. Her palm rested lightly against me, and for a moment, everything stilled. My heart beat loud, uncontrolled, honest, tears mixed with rain on her face. This feels real, she whispered. It is. The words left me without fear, without doubt. She closed her eyes, as if fighting something inside, something bigger than both of us. Her hand pressed slightly more. Then suddenly, she pulled back, just enough to remind me, nothing was certain, nothing was fixed. You ask for trust, she said, but trust grows slowly, in places where truth stays. I nodded, ready to accept every second it would take. She stepped back one more inch, our fingers slipping, barely, still touching at the tips, like a thread refusing to break. And in that quiet, unfinished moment, she looked at me again, not with anger, not with forgiveness, but with a question, one that neither of us knew how to answer yet. And still, neither of us walked away, standing there, between past mistakes, and something fragile beginning to rise. That question stayed between us, unspoken, yet louder than anything we had said. The rain faded into a thin mist, wrapping the street in quiet silver. Her eyes held mine, waiting, searching, for something steady, something that would not disappear. I felt it then, not fear, not guilt, but the weight of becoming someone worthy. I stepped back, just enough, to give her space to breathe, to choose, not forced, not pulled, but free. Her fingers lingered in the air, where mine had been, as if they remembered what they were afraid to hold again. You changed something in me, she said softly. The words carried no blame, only truth. I listen, every part of me open. I used to believe distance was safety. Her gaze drifted past me, into something far away. Walls were easier. Silence was stronger. I took a slow breath. And now? I asked quietly. She looked back at me. Now I feel everything. The confession trembled, like it scared her more than pain ever did. The night deepened around us, streetlights flickering on, casting warm halos in the cold air. I wanted to step closer again, but I stayed, letting her words find their place. Feeling is not weakness, I said. It is the bravest thing a heart can do. She gave a faint smile, small, uncertain, but real. For the first time since everything broke, her shoulders eased, just a little, but her eyes still held storms. What if I trust again? She whispered, and it breaks me deeper. I felt that question inside my chest. Heavy, real. Then I will stay, I answered, through every crack, every doubt, until you see that I am not leaving. The wind moved gently now, carrying the scent of rain-soaked earth. She stepped forward again, closer than before, close enough that distance felt meaningless. Her hand rose once more, this time steadier. Found mine, not brushing, not testing, holding, soft, but certain. I felt it, that quiet shift, like something fragile choosing to exist. Not fully healed, not fully safe, but willing. Her thumb moved slightly, over my hand, a small motion, yet filled with unspoken thoughts. Do not rush this, she said. I will not. Do not make promises you cannot carry. I will carry them. Her grip tightened, not strong, but intentional, like she was marking the moment. The silence returned, but it no longer hurt. Breathe. It waited, just like us. And as we stood there, under fading rain, under trembling light, holding something that had once shattered, I saw it in her eyes again. That question, still alive, still searching, but now, mixed with something new, something softer. Something that dared to believe just a little more. And neither of us knew what the next step would ask of us. Yet neither of us let go. Neither of us let go. And somehow, that became the quiet beginning. The night wrapped around us, gentle now, no longer heavy. Her hand in mine felt warmer, steadier, like a fragile promise learning how to breathe. We started walking, slow steps, no direction. Just side by side. Water shimmered on the road, reflecting broken lights, like pieces of our past scattered beneath us. She spoke again, not looking at me. If I stay, things will not be easy. I nodded, eyes on the path ahead. Easy never taught me anything real. She exhaled softly, as if that answer settled somewhere inside her. We passed empty streets, closed doors, quiet windows. The world felt distant. Only the sound of our footsteps, and the rhythm of two guarded hearts. Tell me something true, she said suddenly, something that has no game in it. I slowed, thinking, searching. Then I spoke. I am afraid. The words surprised even me. Afraid of losing you, before I even learn how to love you right. She stopped walking, her hand tightening around mine. That fear, she whispered, means you finally understand. I turned to her, really seeing her. Not the girl I chased, not the girl I hurt, but the woman standing here, choosing to stay despite it all. A faint breeze moved her hair, across her face. I reached out, paused, then gently moved it back. My touch light, careful. She did not pull away. Instead, her eyes softened, just enough. We stood there again, caught in another still moment. One that asked for patience, one that demanded truth. Then she stepped closer, closer than before, until there was almost no space left. Her voice barely a breath. If I let you in, you will see all of me, not just the parts that smile. I held her gaze. I want all of it. The broken, the quiet, the parts you hide. Her lips parted slightly, like she was about to speak, but something held her back. Her free hand rose, hovering near my face. uncertain, as if one touch could change everything. Time stretched, waiting with her. Her fingers finally reached me, resting softly against my cheek. Warm, real. I closed my eyes for a second, feeling it, not rushing, not taking more than she gave. When I opened them, she was closer still, close enough that I could see every unspoken emotion in her eyes. "This is where it becomes real," she said. "Not the words, not the promises, but what we do next." I nodded slowly, ready, but careful. Her hand slipped from my cheek, down to my shoulder, lingering, as if deciding whether to stay or step back again. The air between us shifted, charged, uncertain, alive, and in that fragile space, between moving forward and falling apart, she leaned in, just slightly, not enough to close the distance, but enough to change everything once more. And I stayed still, waiting, because this time, it was her choice to decide how close we would become, and how much of the past we were ready to leave behind, without knowing what it would cost us next. I did not move, not even a breath out of place, because this moment belonged to her. Her face hovered close to mine, warmth meeting the cold night air. I could feel her hesitation, like a quiet storm, just beneath her calm. Her eyes dropped to my lips, then back to my eyes, searching again, always searching, as if she needed one more truth, one more reason to believe this was not another illusion. My heart beat harder, not rushing her, just waiting, always waiting. Her fingers pressed lightly on my shoulder, grounding herself, or maybe grounding me. I could not tell. The silence deepened, but it was no longer empty, carried meaning. "Wait, possibility." Then she whispered, "If I take this step, there is no going back." I answered softly, "Then we take it knowing we might fall, but we fall honestly." Her breath trembled, and for a second, I thought she would step away, close the distance she had just begun to erase. But she did not. Instead, she leaned closer, just enough for her forehead to rest against mine. Everything stilled. The world, the night, the noise inside me. Only her, only us. Her eyes closed, and I followed, feeling the quiet connection, more powerful than any touch before. "This," she murmured, "feels dangerous." I almost smiled. The real things always do. Her lips curved faintly, a fragile echo of something softer. Her hand moved from my shoulder to my chest again, resting there, over the truth she had questioned before. My heartbeat answered her, loud, unsteady, real. She stayed there, listening, as if it spoke a language she was finally beginning to understand. Minutes passed, or maybe seconds. Time had lost its meaning. Then slowly, she pulled her forehead away. Not far, just enough to look at me again. There was something new in her eyes, still cautious, still guarded, but no longer closed. "I am still afraid," she admitted. "I know, but I am still here." She studied my face, as if memorizing it, testing if I would disappear, like everything else had in her past. The wind moved again, cooler now, reminding us the world still existed. Her fingers slid down from my chest, finding my hand again, this time without hesitation, without doubt. She intertwined them, firm, intentional. We stood like that, two people, no longer pretending, no longer hiding behind pride or games, just truth, raw and unfinished. Then she took a small step forward, guiding me with her, not away, not back, but ahead, into something unknown, something fragile, something that demanded courage. And as we began to walk again, her grip steady in mine, I felt it, that quiet shift inside her, and inside me, like two broken paths, slowly choosing to become one, even without knowing where it would lead, or how much more we would have to risk to keep moving forward, together, together. The word echoed quietly inside me, not loud, not certain, but alive. Our steps matched, slow, careful, like we both understood This was no longer about reaching somewhere. It was about how we walked. Her hand remained in mine, steady now, not slipping, not testing, just there. We reached a quieter street, where the lights dimmed, and the world felt softer. She stopped again, this time without tension, just a pause, like she wanted to hold this moment, before it changed. Do you ever wish, she asked gently, that you never made that bet? The question lingered. Honest, simple, dangerous. I looked at her. I wish I met you without it. Her eyes searched mine. But if that mistake led me to you, then I carry the regret, not the meeting. She inhaled slowly, as if those words settled deep. You speak differently now, because I feel differently now. The truth felt lighter this time, not heavy, not forced, just real. She stepped closer again. No hesitation, no fear pulling her back. Her other hand lifted, resting lightly on my arm. Warm, present, then prove it. She whispered, not with words. Her gaze held mine, steady, challenging, with time, with patience, with how you stay. I nodded, not as a promise, but as a decision. We began walking again, this time closer, our shoulders brushing, softly, naturally. The silence between us changed again, no longer fragile, now growing, like something learning how to stand. A faint laugh escaped her, unexpected, light. I looked at her, and for the first time, it reached her eyes. You still make me nervous, she admitted. I smiled slightly. You still make me forget how to breathe. She shook her head, a hint of disbelief. Yet she did not let go. We passed a small park, empty benches, trees swaying gently. She slowed, then guided me toward it. We sat, not too close, but not distant, just enough space to feel the presence, without losing ourselves. She looked ahead, quiet again, but peaceful. I followed her gaze, and for a while, we said nothing, only breathing, only being. Then suddenly, her head leaned, resting lightly against my shoulder, the contact soft, unexpected, yet everything inside me stilled. I did not move, afraid to break it. Her voice came softer now, almost a whisper against the night. This feels safe. I closed my eyes briefly, holding on to that moment. I wanted to stay that way. She shifted slightly, not pulling away, just settling closer, as if she was testing how much she could trust this feeling. Time moved quietly around us, unnoticed. Then her fingers tightened around mine again. A small reminder, a silent choice. And as we sat there, under dim lights, under open sky, sharing a silence that no longer hurt, I felt something begin. Not sudden, not overwhelming, but steady, like the first heartbeat of something that might finally learn how to last, if we were strong enough to protect it from everything that once tried to break us, and everything that still waited ahead to test us again. The night slowly faded into morning, soft light touching the edges of everything we had become. She still rested against me, her hand in mine, no longer hesitant, just present. Days turned into weeks, and we kept choosing each other, not loudly, not perfectly, but honestly. There were moments when her silence returned, when my past mistake stood between us again, like a shadow refusing to disappear. But this time, we did not run. We stayed. We spoke. We listened. I learned her fears, the reasons behind her walls. She learned my regrets, the truth behind my change. Trust did not arrive all at once. It grew, slowly, quietly, like roots finding strength beneath unseen ground. One evening, we returned to the same street, where everything once broke. The air felt different now, lighter, warmer. She looked at me, not with doubt, but with something deeper. Do you still remember that night? I nodded, every second. She smiled, soft, real. That night broke us, she said, but it also showed us who we could become. I held her hand tighter, not out of fear, but out of gratitude, for the chance we almost lost. Love is not about perfect beginnings, she continued. It is about what we choose after everything falls apart. Her words settled inside me, like truth finding its place. I realized then, love is not a game to win, not a moment to chase, not a promise spoken in haste. It is patience. It is understanding. It is staying. When leaving feels easier, it is growing. When breaking feels certain, she stepped closer, closing the space completely. This time, there was no hesitation, no fear holding her back, only trust, earned through time, through truth, through quiet effort. And as I looked into her eyes, I saw it clearly. Love had found us, not in perfection, but in the ruins we chose to rebuild together. A lesson carved deep, for anyone willing to understand, that hearts are not won by games, but by sincerity, that trust once broken can return, but only through patience and truth, and that real love does not begin when everything is right. It begins when two imperfect souls decide to stay and grow, no matter how difficult the path becomes.